We are inside this buying module, and your process starts with the purchase request of. Uh, so let's start with the material request, and then you have to create a new material request. Like you can see in this list view, this is the list view of this. You see you have already created two material request, purchase request previously, and it is also showing their status and the purpose as purchase and the document reference number or the ID. So now let's start with a new material request. So, likewise, you are creating a new material request. You do not have any sufficient items in the store or the warehouse or your inventory. Then your store person or the purchase person will be creating a new purchase request or the material request. So this is the form of that material request button. Transaction date is basically on which date you are creating the material request, and the required by date is at what time, at what date you want to receive those items within your warehouse or within your location. So this is the required by date. This means at what date you want to receive those items. For example, let's define it as 31st October. Then you have this item table in the very last, where you define whatever item you want to request the procurement team to make the purchase order for it. So on this item table, you define those items. You can define one item or even multiple items here on this item line level. This required by date is coming automatically from this required by section, or else if you want to change the required by date of any other item, you can make those changes here as well, or select the date from this field. And how much quantities you want to make the request, you define the quantities for those items in this section, in this field. Target warehouse is basically at what warehouse you want to receive those items. Like if you want to define if you set target warehouse here in this field, then it will set it as default for each and every item. But if you want to define individual warehouses for each of the items separately, then you can define that target warehouse individually. Like you can define Jobel warehouse here and another warehouse in the other items. So you have these options here as well. And in the very last, you see the unit of measures. Like whatever unit of measure is defined on the item will be fetched here directly. So this is your material request document, which is created by your store person or the inventory person or even your purchase person can create this thing. The purpose is selected as purchase because you have to purchase this item. And you mean the priority of the document, whether the items are required urgent or within normal time, or the priority? We can add that thing. We can add that thing. You can define, I can add a field here where you can define what is the priority of this material request. Walaikum salam. No issues, no issues. Allah- sure, no issues, no issues. Basically, I just started with your purchase cycle, how you run the purchase cycle basically. So I had just started with the material request button, material request or the purchase request. Okay, from the very initial stage, you create a purchase request document, then you send it towards your purchase team. Uh, Either you can go towards purchase order directly if you have the supply, if you know the supplier, if you know their cost price, you go for the purchase order directly. But if you have multiple suppliers in the market and you know if you want to know the quotation from them, then you create the request for quotation, RFQ. For very right now, I have just created a material request document here, starting from the very beginning. This is your material request document, which is lying inside the buying module. Uh, these are your modules here, and I am coming inside this buying module. You see this reports and master section, and inside this reports and master section, you have first of all material request, where you are going to create the material request or the purchase request. This is your list view inside the material request, where you can see your previously created data or the previously created purchase request or the material request there. The history. These are their statuses. The statuses are as draft, submitted, partially ordered, partially received. These will be basically updated as the process moves forward. Purpose as purchase, because we are going to purchase these items, and this is the document reference number or the document IDs. So this is the list view of the previously created data. Now, while creating a new material request, we go to the add material request button in the top, and this is how your material request looks like. This is the very starting point, from where you are starting your purchase cycle. On this material request button, On this material request button, you have different purpose here, like purchase, material transfer, material issue, or any other thing. We will talk about these things later on, but as right now we are going with the purchase cycle, so we will select the purpose as purchase. Transaction date is basically the date of creation of the document. Okay, at what time I am creating, or at what date I am creating this document. Or required by date is basically at what time period or at what date I want to receive those items within my warehouse or within my store or with. बिल्कुल I can add a field here, like can I provide you a drop down here where you can select the priority as urgent or normal or those things. सही. Approval. सही. I can provide you that thing. I can provide you. Okay. हाँ बिल्कुल. I am going towards the warehouse part. So I will provide those fields to you, like the drop down of the priority and the material requested by. So these fields will be reflected right beside this required by date. Then you see we have the item table in the last, where you define the item here in the item section. Like if I add another, you can search for the item by item code. Like you have this item code, or by item name, or by item group. So you have all those options here. Then this required by date is coming up directly from this field. This is setting it up as default. But if you want to change the dates for any other for items individually, you can do that. Then you have to define the item quantities, how much item you require. Then likewise you are saying each item can belong to different warehouses, or where you want to receive the items differently. Then you can define the warehouses separately for each and individual items. Like I have defined Jubail warehouse in the top, and like lower plateau warehouse for the other item. So you can control on the warehouses as well, separately for every item. And this unit of measure is basically coming up from the item. Okay, whatever unit of measure is defined on the item master, which is your base unit of measure, it will be reflected here. So this is how your material request document looks like. Then, yes, on this, so these details are all available on the detail section. Then on the terms side, I mean, you can define any terms and condition content here on this. This is a text field. This is a normal text field where you can define the terms and condition. Because this is a text field where you can put up any condition. So, Mr. Ibrahim, please repeat one thing. I think I have missed it. Uh, you want to control this as a workflow, like your store person or the purchase person is creating this document, then you or any other manager will be approving this thing. I mean, is this what you have said to me? The approval process. Okay. And on this approval process, only you are going to approve this document, or any other person can approve, like the purchase manager or any other person can. No, by amount, I mean this is just a request document. We are not talking about the amounts or the values. Because okay, okay, no issues. I mean, you can, if there is anything, you can tell to me later on as well. So just to start from here once again. Whoever is creating this document will just put up all these details, save, and submit this document to confirm. So while submitting, system will again ask you, okay, do you want? Yep. This is just a confirmation message. So while you submit this document, now this document is submitted. So in this list you can also see this material, this purchase request or the material request is in pending state. Yes, I'm showing. Then it will be ordered. Like sorry, while you have created the purchase order, then it will be shown you as ordered. And likewise, while you have ordered and when you have received these items, then it will be automatically updating like partially received or full received, like this. So this will be automatically updating on the material request. So then you have then on the after you have submitted the material request document, then you have to vehicle. Okay, if you know the supplier, you know his cost price, then you create the purchase order directly. But if you want to send a request for quotation to multiple suppliers, then you go towards the request for quotation document. Hmm. I think I haven't told you. Mr. Ibrahim, you are correct. I should have told you this thing before in the very beginning. This is so it's really good that you have asked me in the very initial period. You see this we are inside this buying module, and there are in after this transactions document you see the supplier master. Supplier, yeah. You have to create the supplier only one time. Like if I talk about these files I have created for you as per your data, you see the supplier name, their supplier both in English and Arabic, their country and the supplier group as their local suppliers. And similarly, their tax ID, their VAT ID basically. Address and contact, whatever their address, whatever their contact is, you have to provide it to me or I will show you. I mean, these things are all available on the supplier profile or the supplier thing, where you have, where you have to define only one time. No, all one time. You have to create the supplier for the very one first time. First, you have created the supplier, then you can create multiple purchase orders or do any sort of transaction. Uh, I mean, whatever time you need. So, but only you have to create it one time. Alright, so let's go towards a request for quotation. Like if you have multiple suppliers, then your purchase person will be basically dealing with this thing, request for quotation. This is your request for quotation form view. The date and the required date. Required date is coming up from the material request document, the 31st October. The status is as draft because we are just working on it. Items are fetching directly, also the warehouses and quantities. These details are coming directly from the material request document. The main thing is we have to define the suppliers from whom I am going to create the request. Okay, so here on the supplier table, uh, wait a minute. So here on the supplier table, I have to define what supplier I have to create the request. बिल्कुल यानी you can define multiple suppliers here and you see that this contact and email is right now blank, it is not coming up. So if because if you define on this Ali Al Nasser partner, then this thing will automatically fetch here in the email and the contact side. Clear? This this send email checkbox means if this is enabled, so while you submit the document, this checkbox will make sure that this RFQ will be sent to by email to the suppliers. So I mean, whatever email ID is defined here, the email will be thrown to notify the supplier that you have created the RFQ. So I've just submitted the document as there is no email ID mentioned. So obviously there are no emails currently sent to the supplier. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल और if you want to make another email where you have to make the data where you have to compose any email manually, so you can go through this menu button, the three dots on the very top, click on it and go towards email, and likewise you use Gmail or Outlook or any other thing, you compose the email there to CC. This is your subject, this is your email body where you can define any email body, and attach the attached document print means ke RFQ PDF basically. And if you want to attach any other attachment, then you like PDF, Excel, बिल्कुल Word, Excel, image or PDF, any other thing. Then you click on send button. Send button will throw an email to the supplier or email that is mentioned. So this is how you are going to notify your supplier that you have created a request for quotation towards it. Al Nasser and Blue Light Trading. So after creating this RFQ, y- how the supplier notify to you their quotation amounts? Like WhatsApp, email, or how do they tell you? Okay. I mean, let me show you. If they are responding to you by call or by WhatsApp or by any other thing, so that is a separate thing outside the ERP. Your WhatsApp or your call is outside the ERP thing. So, mhm. there is there is there is one option. If I provide the portal access to your supplier. हाँ, uh, I said if I create a user ID for your supplier, like if I provide the access of this ERP to your supplier, where he can only see the request that we have created, and on that request he will just provide you the supplier quotation. Like he will log in the system, see your request, and then respond to it by creating a supplier quotation. Like he just provides the quotation amount directly by logging in this system. Is it feasible for you? Because then you have to train your supplier as well, how he is going to create it. Okay, so let's consider you are going to create it manually. Like he had told you the amounts directly to you, so you are going to create it manually. So for this thing, I'm just standing on the RFQ right now. You click on create button, you have the supplier quotation there. Then obviously, as you have two different suppliers, Ali Al Nasser and Blue Light Trading Company, so you have to create the supplier quotations manually twice. One for the Ali Al Nasser and other time for the Blue Light Trading Company, because they are providing to you manually. Uh, so this is okay. So this is your supplier quotation document. Supplier name Ali Al Nasser, date validity is of 1 month. You can, I mean, validity means कि at how much time period this supplier quotation is valid for you. If this 22nd November exceeds, then after that thing you will not be able to create the purchase order. After if this validity expires. Then you have this item table here. Here in this rate and amount, you put whatever the amount he has quoted to you. Like if I talk about 200, this you see कि 150 is coming automatically, because I have just created a testing record before the meeting, so it is picking up the last purchase rate. Okay, you can change it. You can control on this thing. I mean, you can put, yeah, I got your point. You can put up whatever proof of the he has provided to you, your supplier. You can put up any attachment on this document. Come up, come back to this document after 3 months, 4 months, 1 year. You can come back again to the supplier quotation, see the attachment proof there, and so you will know, okay, so I will go to that point. I will show you, okay, how you are going to do this. So here on this item table, you can see, you see the quantities, you set up the rate amounts, okay, what he has provided to you. Yep. There you see the sum of these quantities, 5, 1, 1 plus 1. So the total quantities are 7. Then this is your total amount, 1100 Saudi riyals. If you sum up these amount column. All right, then you see कि 15% tax is applied to you. I mean, on the purchase cycle. Is this correct? The tax 15%. Okay. Tax clear counter. All right. So I mean, I will create a template here. So you will just select the text category here, like 5%, 10%, 15% here. So there will be a drop down. Then it will automatically populate this table. I mean, I have just put it here manually, here the 15%. So you do not have to enter one by one every time while creating the supply quotation. It will automatically fetch here. I will make it up. I will make it up as default. So you do not have to enter manually one. I will provide the control here. I will provide the control here. You or Mr. Sham or Mr. Machub can control on this tax rate. I will provide the access to you. But on my part, I will also do it as set it as default, so you do not have to enter each and every time. Then, then you see this. This is the breakdown, like how much taxes are added on this supply quotation, 165. Then this is your grand total amount after applying the taxes. Also this additional discount thing. This grand total means ke after application of VAT 15%, and net total means ke excluding VAT. So if do you provide it as by percentage or by amount? Okay, I mean you can define here by percentage. Here in the additional discount thing, you can provide it as either in percentage or in amount. So these are some detail you have. Okay, I mean whatever you put here, then it will automatically bring up the amount. So you have both options there. So these are few things available on the supplier quotation form. In the details section, this address and contact, once again, if you let me tell you again, if you define on the Ali Al Nasser profile, on the supplier profile, then it will be shown here directly. Similarly, terms and condition are there, and this is another thing. This is about the print format that I sent you an email to you. Print format thing. Okay, so this is all right, no issues. You can provide it to me. So I will provide. So this is how you are going to create it, save this document, and submit it. So this is once again ask you, okay, how to permanently submit. Yep. So we have just created the supplier quotation for Ali Al Nasser only right now. But we have another partner, Blue Trading Company, Blue Light Trading. So I am back again here on the RFQ, and I will, बिल्कुल, I will create again, but this time for the blue light trading company. So the process is once again same, the same process. I define the item values there, whatever the amount was there. If there is any tax, I can define the tax. If there is any discount, I can define the discount either in percentage or in amount. The things will be same, like Ali and Nasser. Address and contact section is same. Huh. Yep. I mean, you make the comparison between the quotations, like which supplier provided with you the best rates. So I mean, this is our next step. I am going to show you before creating the purchase order. I am going to create a comparison between both the supplier quotations. Okay, we have created two. I have created these two supplier quotations. Uh, this now in 1 minute will make it easier for you to know. Okay, these two were created right now. Date can also show you. Okay, now inside this buying module once again, there are two things: supply quotation comparison here. Mr. Mahjoub was there last time with me. We had some discussion on this thing, supplier quotation comparison. This is just a report view. Report view, you see there are multiple data coming up, but we will, बिल्कुल. But the system is bringing up all the data of all the RFQs and of all the supplier quotations already created within such system. These are my filters, like from 22nd September towards today, 22nd October. I can select, I can use filters, suppliers, supplier quotation reference, or RFQ reference. So likewise, I have created an RFQ right now. So I'm going to filter out RFQ here. You see, okay, I'm just adding another column. So, so blue light trading company items are same for both. So both of them, like 10001, 2 and 8. So these three were items quoted by Blue Light Trading Company and Ariel Nassar. But you see on this pricing part, there is difference. Okay, one provided you in the 300, 750 and 350, but the other provided you in the lesser amount, 200, 650 and 250. I mean, this is just a report where you have to see the data individually for every. Make the comparison. Yep. बिल्कुल. This is before making the PO. You see this report, come up to this report, see the comparison, see the whatever the quotation amount or whatever the per unit amount or the total amount there. You see this thing, then you go towards a PO by identifying which supplier is suitable for you. This is just a report view. Okay, how uh, then you have to create the purchase order. This is available in the other report section, the supplier quotation comparison report. This one. Another thing was, let me show you. Mr. Majub had asked me this thing. This quotation comparison sheet. So I am coming up here in the add quotation comparison sheet, and you'll see system is asking me for a reference document of RFQ. Okay, I have to provide an RFQ reference here. Okay, I just provided an RFQ here. System will automatically show me what was my required date, 31st October, and how many supplier quotations were created from this RFQ. Like we have two supplier quotations, Ali Al Nasser and Blue Light Trading Company. My grand total amount was 1,265 Saudi Riyal. Other was one was 1,400 Saudi Riyals. Okay, then on this table, this is my quotation table. Then we have this item table where you can see, okay, these are my items, this is my quotation amount, and this is my quantities. So by this way, this is another comparison view to you. Uh, One was report that we had seen earlier, where we were using the filters there, and this thing basically works with the RFQ document. We just provided the RFQ reference document here, and system is automatic. This way. Then you see, okay, this is my grand total amount coming up as zero right now. So then I will save this document. After saving, I'm just telling you, after saving this document, you see this analyze button. Now you see best rate from one supplier. System will automatically picks the suitable supplier to you. System will check whatever was the lowest price for each item and the total amount was lesser, then system will bring that one supplier to you. And the other option is best rate from many suppliers. Means के system will check both suppliers and see best rate for every item. Like 130 from this Ali Al Nasser was lowest price, and this 300 was lowest from the Blue Light Trading Company for this item. System will pick up this thing. बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल. So if I talk about, Mr. Majub had asked me if there is any automation for the comparison sheet. So this is what I am telling you right now. So if I go towards best rate from one supplier, you see ordered based on best price from one supplier. This is a notification sent to me or a message here. Or on the very last, you see this table was not coming before. Now you see, बिल्कुल. You see the system has automatically fetched me the best suitable supplier to me, and also the quantities and the total rate, and it is showing me the 1100 Saudi Riyal. So system has, you had two different supplier quotations, one for blue trading and one for Ali Al Nasar. System had make the comparison automatically. System analyzed the data completely, went through each cost price or the rate, then brings up the best possible supplier to you. Then you have the then then you I submit this document. After submitting this document, I know okay, this my supplier was best possible for me. And after I have submitted this document, now I have this create button here. After this, okay, now I can create the purchase order directly. बिल्कुल from this Ali Al Nasar, the best supplier to you. Okay. Now I'm inside this purchase order, and you see that this is in my draft state Ali Al Nasar. System has automatically created this document is in the draft state. You see this is created right now. You go towards the purchase order. You see the complete details there. Their supplier name in English and Arabic, dates, and you see the item code there, the item quantities, rate which is provided on the supplier quotation, and then the total amount. Rate multiplied with quantity means your total amount. Then payment term is on the purchase order. I will show you here in the purchase order. Right, I will show you. Is this all right? Then you have the details here on the supplier quotation. I will see why the text is not coming. We have already defined on the supplier quotation. I will check this text part. Right now it is not showing to you. I will fix this thing on the text. The text will coming directly the 15%. Uh, and similarly, if you want to provide the discount on the purchase order level, you can control the discount here as well. You can control on the supplier quotation, but you can control on the purchase order as well. So you have the control on both documents. In the address and contact, this is similar. Address will be come directly from the supplier side. Terms and condition, on the terms section, you have two things. One is payment terms, like you are asking to me right now. Other thing is terms and condition. On the payment terms, we can set up the payment terms like immediate payment or within 15 days, within 30 days, or like we can make multi conditions. We can define multi conditions. We can Bilkul, you can define multiple payment terms condition here on the payment schedule. Like if you want to receive 50% in advance, you can define the 50% advance here, and then you will tell ki how much amount you basically system will automatically calculate this payment amount. हाँ हाँ, if you define on the supplier, it will bring up here. It will bring up here. You can change. This is a editable field. You can change. You see whatever you define on the supplier profile, na, system will fetch those details automatically as a default. But if there is anything you want to change, then you can change on that field. Like just click on it and make whatever changes you want. Huh? No, I mean I do not understand about the limit. The purchase price 200,000. Okay. So okay, so by this way, you want to control your purchase users to not exceed the amount, like defined amount. So you want to control this thing, okay? So they cannot exceed the defined limit. You can make workflow here. You can make workflow on any document. Or obviously you are right कि this accounting dimensions or some part is here related with the finance. I will hide those things. So your purchase person will cannot see the accounting part. I will hide these things. I I mean Mr. Ibrahim, you can send to me in written whatever your workflow is, who is creating the document and who is approving the document. For every document, like not only purchase order but for other things, material request or okay, okay, thanks. Now you see the status of the document is updated to receive and bill. Okay, we have created the purchase order, but our next part is we have to make up the receiving and we have to create the purchase invoice or purchase bill. Uh, no, we haven't received the material. We have just created the purchase order only. We have just created a order, and we have the receiving. We have to receive the items, and we have to do the billing part. हाँ, बिल्कुल. It will be like you see these statuses. Draft means you see this to receive and bill means के both are pending. You have to receive the items. You have to do the billing. To bill means के you have completed the receiving, but the billing part is remaining. हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. You can I will show you the report. I will show the reports to you later, and all the reports are working on behalf of these statuses. You can do this. Okay, just give me a minute. My laptop is just about to end. I have to connect the charger. Just give me a minute. चला दो ना ऐसी. हाँ, चला दो ना. चला तो रखा है. अभी मुझे आदत नहीं है ना इस कंपनी की. मैं वो पंखा चलने चला रहा हूँ. भाई की बॉडी खराब है. अभी मसला ये है प्रोक्योरमेंट. हाँ, इधर इधर भी दो स्विच. वो सही लग गया. ये आज क्या हमारे बड़े जो आज टाइम आया था. uh, Hello. Sorry. So, are you there? Okay. So, Omar, you have to provide me the print documents. Like, I've already shared the default to you. Uh, this is how it looks like. This thing. So you have to provide me with the purchase order document. Whatever detail is you will send, we will just configure on this purchase order document, like the supplier name, supplier tax ID. Make it. Okay, no issues, no issues. Take your. Okay, just confirm me one thing. After creating the purchase order, how your process cycle moves forward. What do you do? Is there any advance payment or payment thing first, then you go towards receiving, or how do you receive the items? So you have delivery terms and condition as well, like the receiving thing. Depending. Sorry, sorry. Do you want to continue with the receiving thing today, or can we do tomorrow? Like just make it till purchase order today and start because till purchase order this is related with the buying module. Like we discussed about the material request, RFQ, supplier quotation, and then make the comparison sheet, and then went towards the purchase order. These are basically related with the with your buying module. The receiving part where you create the purchase receipts are related with the stock module. This is your stock module, and I will show you. Okay. Huh. Okay. So can we do tomorrow? The items only. Yeah. Yeah. The materials. Materials. Yeah. We can do towards the assets tomorrow, but on different time because the purchase the Mr. Sorry, I couldn't get your name. Who? Shyam, really sorry, brother. Uh, the purchase cycle is same for both things, for the materials and for the assets. Purchase cycle, Obviously, obviously, you are 100% correct. The nature of the asset and the nature of the items are two different things. Item is your material or whatever product you have, or your stock item basically. Asset, you calculate the depreciation time period, like number of days or within months or years. The depreciation is calculated. बिल्कुल 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 purchase cycle is same, process is same, but obviously you are correct कि asset nature is different, where we define the depreciation value, time period, and the locations things. And okay. I mean, we have to keep both of the sessions separately, like the receiving thing with the warehouse team, because your warehouse persons will be involved, and for the asset, uh, we have to deal it separately. Like we both can have another session, or we can have Mr. Ibrahim or any Mr. Majub involved there. We can have the separate discussion on the assets part, but for the receiving part, as you know, कि there will be warehouse team, so we have to keep both the things separately. So let me know कि what time will be suitable for you tomorrow. Same time, 2 p.m. For the receiving for the receiving part. हाँ बिल्कुल. Okay, so we will just go towards the receiving part tomorrow at 2 p.m. Sure, sure, no issues. Just you can also send a confirmation message in the morning tomorrow. So we will align inshallah. Do you have access of this database of this instance? Do you guys have access of this thing? Do you have user IDs with you? I mean, just log in the system and do just run any cycle or create the purchase order, anything. Mean, we have the team there as well. So, but for this thing, you have to, I think, contact with Mr. South or Mr. Salman. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's meet tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Uh, thank you. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.